All right, let's continue our discussion about Stoicism, and we were going over the Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. This is a short passage, but I think it's quite interesting. Book 7, section 71. It is ridiculous not to escape from one's own vices, which is possible, while trying to escape the vices of others, which is impossible. Very nice, simple, straightforward, short Marcus Aurelius quote. I think typically what we do and what he is getting at is that we are very eager to pass judgment and to be upset about people. Well, he's done that and she's done this and they've done, etc. And that's easy. It is easy to be upset about other people doing bad, viceful things. He drinks too much and she does too much of this, and they do this and they don't do enough of that, or they do even worse things, etc. But you can't really get away from that. You cannot change other people, but you can change yourself. And that is, I think, a fundamental truth that people often overlook. They try to change others, whether it's in all kinds of contexts, right? Whether it's in families or in romantic relationships or in friendships, or even with strangers sometimes. People try to change others, but you can't. You can't. What you can do is change yourself. Now, here we walk a thin line. So you cannot say, well, this person is abusive, I can't change that, but I can change myself, so I guess I'll just take it. That's not what this is about. Although, very strictly speaking, if you're hardlining in Stoicism, then that's kind of what would be said. Like, well, you can't change that, so you better put up with it. What else can you do? Well, you can walk away, right? There's always that option. But anyway, I digress. So, if you cannot change someone else, but you can change yourself, then maybe what you fail to realize is that the problem, that whatever it is that bothers you in that other person, is something that they will not change, cannot change, or unwilling to change, all of the above, whatever. And you can't get away from that. You cannot change other people's vices. You can tell them, I would really appreciate if, etc. But whether or not that actually changes, that's not up to you, it's up to them. And sometimes this is a matter of realizing that it's up to you, not them, to change, which is hard. I think if we take this a little bit broader, what's interesting is that Marcus Aurelius also kind of admonishes us. It's ridiculous not to escape from one's vices, which is possible, while trying to escape the vices of others, which is impossible. So taking it a little farther, you could say, well, you can try to get away from other people doing unpleasant things, doing bad things, doing things that you don't like. But are you also doing those things to make yourself a better person? Because that you can always change. This again is the Stoic fork, right? Some things are within your control. Other things are not within your control. Other people's behavior is never within your control. Again, yes, you can say, I would really appreciate it if you wouldn't do this. I would appreciate it if you would do that. Can you please stop doing that? But at the end of the day, whether or not they will do those things is not up to you, but it's up to them. So for me, that's kind of what this is about, right? There is, on the one hand, the realization that you can't change others. Much as you would like to, maybe you can't. But you can always change yourself. You can change yourself. You can strive to be the best version of yourself, but you can't make other people better people. You can't. Again, try, sure, but there's no guaranteed outcome. And then there is also the struggle of you may try to get away from the bad things that other people are doing, but if you yourself are not doing those things, are you yourself not doing the right thing, if you yourself are still committing acts of vice, then is it entirely fair to try and get away from people? And you don't actually control them. I find this a very interesting one to think about. It is ridiculous not to escape from one's own vices, which is possible, while trying to escape the vices of others, which is impossible. So maybe consider it that way. You can try to work on yourself, and you're obliged to work on yourself. And you can work on yourself. It's always within your control how you respond, what you say, what you do. But you can't change others. You can't make others truly change or maybe see the changes required. And that's it. So if you're able to change yourself, why don't you? And if you're unable to change others, why do you try? And again, certain things, yeah, of course. I would really appreciate it if you would slam the door in my face. Yeah, okay, this is a small thing. But bigger things, personality things, psychological traits, someone else may not be able to change. Then either you change how you respond to them, or you have to walk out. I think those are the only two options. A fascinating one. A short, nice, classic Marcus Aurelius thing to think about. I hope this was useful. I'll gladly see you again soon for more talk about Stoicism.